Welcome to Reynolds Reviews, where we review a wide variety of products and supplies. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on the way in so that you don't miss any of our future videos. And if you've got a personal experience with the products or supplies that we covered in this video, be sure to leave your personal experience down below in the comments. As always, links to all products and supplies will be available in the description box below. Welcome folks, Kendall here with Reynolds for Pros and Joes, back with another Reynolds review, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Dewalt 20V Max 18 gauge brad nailer. We're going to look at the unit itself and look at some of the features that are on the unit, and then we're also going to look at some of the nails that it will accept, and we're actually going to drive some nails. So let's jump into the walk around. As you can see here, we will start here on this right side, and you can see that we have a lock here. We can push that in, and it's available on both sides to push through. Once you see that it's pressed on this side, it's locked the unit and the trigger will no longer engage. In order to be able to unlock it, we simply push it back the other direction, and now it's unlocked, and you can see that we can push the trigger down. When we push the trigger down, you can also notice that we've got these LED lights on the bottom that light up, which allow us to have a little bit more visibility if we're working in a space that does not have very much light. Also lets you know that the unit has been activated and we've got battery power on it to be able to work with the unit. Now, just below that, we have an indicator here that's a little bit more difficult to see here, but we can change the setting of the function of the nailer from a single drive nail here, which is pushed to the left side, or we can push it over here to the right, which will allow us to bump fire the brad nails, which I will show you here momentarily. As you can see here, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see that you've got several nails indicated on here. We've got 3 nails in a row, versus when we push it back this way, there's only 1 nail. So we'll leave it like that for right now. Also, we can look here and see that we can also work to dislodge nails that may be stuck here in the unit. And here on this side, we have the gauge that will allow us to adjust how deep we want to drive our nails. We can kind of adjust this back and forth, and that will allow us to adjust the depth of the nails here. So we can see, we can turn this slowly this way, and then we can turn it back the other direction, and that will allow us to adjust the depth of those nails. So those are the basic features of this unit. If we can look here on this side, we can push here and we can open it up, and you can see we've got nails inside, and we just simply close it back up to be able to get ready to use it. We also have a belt clip here that can come in handy, and the unit can also rest by itself standing up on its battery, which also makes it very handy to be able to use. So let's go ahead and do some demonstration of some nailing. And before we do that, let's look at some of the different types of nails that it will accept. This unit will accept nails that are anywhere from 5/8 of an inch all the way up to 2 1/8 inches. These are 5/8 inch nails here. As you can see, they are very, very, very short. We'll set those to the side. Now these are a little bit longer. These are 1-inch nails, which we'll also accept. We've got 1.5 inches. We're kind of moving up slowly but surely here. We've got 1.75 inches. And then here we've got 2 inches. And these nails are actually 1 size shorter than the absolute max for this unit. So as you can see, this is a 5/8 nail, and this is a 2-inch nail. So let's set these down for a moment, and let's open the unit up and see what we've got in here. These look like 2-inch nails, which they are. So you can see those were in there, but we can also place those in there. And I think we've got a slight bend in there. Let's move those off there. Right, and so there we go. Let's get set up for our demonstration so we can drive some nails. So for our demo today, we've got some pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, which we're going to nail together. And we've also got some different types of trim that we can also do a demo on. We've just got some basic pieces here, and we've got a little piece of cove right here. We're going to just nail all these different types of pieces just so that you can see how this unit functions. So for the purposes of doing our first nails, we're going to make a box here with these 4 pieces. So we've got 2 different links that we're going to be using to be able to assemble it. So let's push our nails out of the way here momentarily. For this type of application, probably 1.25 inches would be ideal. But what we've got is 1.5 inches, and that will be more than enough to be able to hold this. Have a little bit extra, but we'll be just fine. So let's go ahead and take our unit, put our nails in. You can see that we have the ridges on this side, so we know that that's going to be the rear. And then we're going to push our nails in. We're going to make sure that they're jammed up here. And now we've got everything locked in place. And then we're going to make sure that we've got our sides and everything oriented the way that we want them. So make sure that everything fits appropriately and kind of line things up visually and just by touch here. So I'm going to make my first nail here. As I mentioned before, I've hit my trigger and you can see that it's now activated. And I'm going to go ahead and press. And just that quickly we drove one nail. So there's the hole that it left there. See that pretty good, right? So we'll put a second nail in there to make sure that we've got it just right. You can hear that. You can hear the unit ramp up. And so there's 2. See if I can turn a little bit so that you can see this a little bit better. So these 2, this corner has not been attached yet. So I just wanted to, as I said, I'm going to just do this by hand, purely by touch here. Got 1 through there. And then we're going to drive this second one here. So our second one there. So we've got 2 sides done so far. Let's go ahead and we've got our final piece here that we've got to go ahead and nail in on both ends here. Turn that one this way. As you can see, got that one nailed in. So that was a really quick and easy assembly that we just did, and everything is held together really good. As I'm trying to put a little bit of pressure on it, the nails are not pulling out. Everything is installed really good. So now we've done our little art piece here. We could even put it back on it or use it as a shadow box or something like that to hang some type of trinkets or ornaments in here. We'll set that to the side now. Now the next thing I want to show you is going to be our bump fire option. So we've removed our 1.5 inches and now we're putting in our 1 3/4 inches. We've slid that in there and we're ready to go. So here we currently show the single nail here. We're going to push it over here to this side, and now you should be able to see the 3 nails there. So you can see that as we're doing this, as we're holding the trigger down and we're just bumping the nose of the brad nailer, and it will continue to fire repeatedly. So now when we pull this down, as soon as we press, it's going to fire. You flip it over so you can see what those nails look like there. So a unit like this is going to allow you to drive 18 gauge brads in a lot of different types of applications, and will allow you to work without having to worry about a compressor or a hose, because this is cordless and battery powered. And if we just check our unit here, we're still completely